There's more developments that are unfolding in the Chad Daybell case, and they're happening quite close to his upcoming trial date. Recently, we witnessed Chad's lawyer John Pryor attempt to withdraw from the case, and now we're seeing the prosecutor Rachel Smith depart in only a matter of weeks, and her next move is quite intriguing as well, as it involves an interesting new case in Idaho. Plus, there is an upcoming pretrial hearing in the Daybell case. I'm Linda with It's a Crime, so now let's get into it. In January of 2024, John Pryor tried to withdraw from the case, but was made to stay by the judge. John argued he wasn't qualified to handle the death penalty aspect of the case and he needed more time to prepare. He also mentioned financial concerns, saying he wasn't getting paid enough for the work he was doing, and then in court, he told the judge, well, money didn't matter. It was quite contradictory, even though John didn't think so. You can see my video I did on that at the end, and I'll have it also in the description box below. The judge, though, wasn't buying it. He pointed out that John had known about these issues for a while and should have addressed them earlier. Ultimately, the judge decided that if John left, it would only delay the trial for a long period of time, and Chad Daybell wanted him to stay anyway. So for now, Pryor's on the case, soliloquies and all. Now, just days ago, it was announced that multiple subpoenas were issued and a pretrial conference is scheduled for February 22nd. So as of the time of this recording, it's just less than 2 weeks from now. And now, prosecutor Rachel Smith is definitely leaving the case and pursuing an interesting new case in Idaho, although she said it's not the reason for leaving. Since March of 2021, Rachel has been an essential part of the team alongside Madison County Prosecuting Attorney Rob Wood and Fremont County Prosecuting Attorney Lindsay Blake. Rob Wood brought her on board, recognizing her extensive experience of over 25 years, handling more than 100 complex criminal cases, including homicides and death penalty cases. And Chad Daybell is facing the death penalty. Rachel's decision to leave the case just a month before Chad Daybell's trial comes as a little bit of a surprise. Her last day is set for February 28th. While she declined to provide specific reasons for her departure, she expressed gratitude for the opportunity to work alongside the prosecution team. But before she goes, Rachel will continue to contribute to the case in the next few weeks by helping in witness coordination and exhibit preparation for Chad's upcoming trial. She initially joined the case back in March of 2021, balancing her involvement with running her own law practice in Missouri, where she specialized in assisting prosecutors with murder cases. Now, as I mentioned, she declined to say where she was heading, but it was recently revealed that she was asked for help on another Idaho murder case. A 49-year-old man named Jeremy Best is accused of murdering his 38-year-old wife, his 10-month-old son, and his unborn baby in December of 2023. His wife was 28 weeks pregnant, and he's currently in custody and was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder with enhancements because he used a firearm and a knife during his crimes, and if he's convicted like Chad Daybell, he could face the death penalty. And the whole thing started unfolding one morning when hunters were called to Bonneville County Dispatch and said they found a guy, Jeremy, in a sleeping bag on the side of the road. He was totally naked and acting strangely, and authorities had been searching him for 2 full days. And when the sheriff's deputies got there, they found Jeremy and made sure that he was okay before taking him into custody. Now, nearby, they found his black Chevy SUV that he had been driving. And tragically, they also found little baby Zeke, 10 months old, who was already deceased. And the cause of Zeke's death was a knife wound to his little neck, and he is an adorable little baby and allegedly murdered by his own father. How could you even do that? Now, before this discovery, this whole ordeal started when Jeremy showed up at a general store without a stitch of clothing on, and there's a video of it. East Idaho News reported about it. He was said to be in the store, leaning on the counter next to the cash register, totally naked, just doing odd stuff, grabbed a cigarette, and then was escorted out of the building. When the cops showed up, Jeremy got checked out by emergency medical services, and then he was taken to the hospital for care. Now, It's not clear what happened there, but he was released later that day. Then, later that night, there was a 911 call from Jeremy's home. Cops went there and found his wife, Callie Randall, dead right before she was pleading, saying no, Jeremy, to her husband, in which he replied yes, and then he shot her to death with several shots, killing her and her unborn baby. And after that, Jeremy took off with his 10-month-old baby Zeke, and that's when the Amber Alert went out for Zeke's safe return. Now, Jeremy's in jail, and he's waiting to face the consequences of what he's accused of. It's just a terrible situation, and our hearts go out to the victims' families during this incredibly difficult time. Now, when he showed up on Zoom for a court hearing and he was said to be shirtless, he appeared to be very fidgety and kept running his hands through his hair, scratching his face and sometimes crying. And at the end of the hearing, he held up his hand with this sign signal. And a mental competency evaluation was requested by the defense, and the prosecution did not object. Interestingly, not only will Rachel Smith be assisting in this case, but death penalty certified Jim Archibald, who represented Lori Daybell, will also be assisting in the case as the defense. So if Rachel didn't leave the Daybell case for the best case and it was another reason, then what was it and why? Let me know what you think below. And an interesting fact, Rachel is not licensed to practice in that jurisdiction, so the approval is pending from Idaho courts, but she'll be hired as an independent contractor and will be paid $150 an hour, which in Canadian money is like a cajillion dollars. I'm just kidding. It's about $195 an hour. Now, Rachel had a statement and it said, "It has been a true honor to help pursue justice for Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, and Tammy Daybell over the last 3 years. I am proud to have been part of the state of Idaho's efforts that led to the conviction of Lori Vallow Daybell in 2023. I have spent the vast majority of my legal career as a prosecutor. To have the opportunity to utilize my experience as a homicide prosecutor to help bring some comfort to the victims' families is something I'll cherish for a lifetime. I appreciate the opportunity to work with Madison County prosecuting attorney Rob Wood and his team as they led the prosecution of Lori Vallow Daybell. My work on behalf of the state of Idaho on the Daybell matter is expected to end on February 28, 2024, as the Fremont County Prosecuting Attorney's Office leads the prosecution of Chad Daybell for charges connected to the deaths of Tylee, JJ, and Tammy. I wish them the very best of luck in the pursuit of justice." Now, Lindsay Blake said, like Madison County, Fremont County has appreciated the work and assistance of Mrs. Smith. Now, what Rob Wood said was Miss Smith was an integral part of the team that secured the jury conviction of Lori Vallow Daybell in May 2023 on all counts. Miss Vallow Daybell is serving 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Miss Smith continues to add tremendous support as the team prepares for the trial against Chad Daybell in April 2024. Between now and the end of February, Miss Smith will assist with witness coordination, exhibit preparation, and other duties required to complete case preparation for trial. Jury selection begins on April 1st, 2024 at the Ada County Courthouse. Now, we're on the countdown to Chad's trial. Hopefully there won't be any more disruptions, but now with John Pryor, we know there's going to be lots of motions. Have you followed the other case with baby Zeke and his mom, Callie? Let me know below. You can watch John Pryor's Shady Past right here and the playlist of the most important videos in the Daybell case right here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there.